Hello and welcome to Explorations in Health. My name is Jason Brazil, and today I will be your guide in helping you unlock aspects of your health, wellness, and well-being. We're going to be working today on the financial level. I'm going to be doing an intrinsic data field analysis using the SE5 2000 Intrinsic Data Field Analyzer as a biofeedback device to find out where the totality of all YouTube viewers might be blocked, stuck, or limited, areas they can improve in their financial life. We all want more money, and when you have more money, you have better physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual health usually, because you have more time. So I think we can all agree, we can all use a little more cash flow in our lives. So hopefully today's reading, today's analysis will result in many blessings for you and for all that you know. We're going to be doing a collective reading today for all of the YouTube viewers, the billion or so YouTube viewers that there are. And so what is the lowest common denominator that we can find? What is something that we can all practice that will immediately increase and expand our financial well-being? So without further ado, let's get right to it. So I have here the legacy software of the SE5 2000. This is a way for me to track my results, our results. And for those of you who don't know what intrinsic data field analysis is, it is essentially a means of influencing the material world through analyzing the informational fields that govern and structure all the electromagnetic and physical dimensions of our life. So I'm using the YouTube logo as a means of connecting with all of the YouTube viewers. And let's get into it. Let's find out what might be wrong. What can we improve in our financial life? So let's go ahead and add a tuning here. We'll go to our cash flow program and we'll start looking at our physical health as it relates to finances. So here I'm going to be scanning down the list, looking for a strong muscle test, something that we can all benefit from. Nothing that we can work on today here in the physical. Let's go down our list even further. Emotional. Nothing there. Mental. Spiritual. Oh, got a stick there. Okay, so, and what I mean when I say I got a stick is that on this white pad that you see here, as I'm operating my dial and have my intention and mind linked into the unit, I'm making concentric circles, and when I get a strong muscle test, there's a spontaneous stick. This is a galvanic skin response, very common kinesiologic muscle test, just a fairly subtle one on the instrument, which helps amplify that. So let's look at our possible areas of improvement for our financial health within the spiritual dimension. All right, so we're looking at spiritual blockages, vision of wealth. We got a ping on that one. Okay, so on a scale of 100 being amazing, vision of wealth, is your wealth vision rooted in service and joy? 0 being not at all, 100 being absolutely, it's wonderful. Let's test that for the collective sum total of YouTube viewers. Looks like we have some work to do. So that scored a 15 out of 100. I got a spontaneous stick at 15.3. So we're going to add that to our tuning list. And then let's look even further into the spiritual dimensions. Connection to source, energetic integrity, and alignment with purpose. We got another stick there. Are you earning in a way that aligns with your soul mission? So let's test that one. Starting at 100 and moving the dial down to closer to 0. See what we got. That one sticks at a 40. So in aggregate, we've probably got 40% of those billion people that are aligned with their purpose. They're doing what they need to do in this incarnation. Seems like a bigger issue is the vision of wealth. Is your wealth vision rooted in service and joy? Let's go back to our sub-programs, see if there's anything else that needs attention. Relational dimension. The temporal dimension and time, nothing there. And then let's look at some things that we can add into our lives some behaviors that might help us resolve this wealth vision issue. Mental reprogramming, nothing in spiritual alignment. Emotional releasing. Interesting. Oh, that's a phenomenal one. Look at that. There's a stick right there. Journaling. What am I afraid money will do to me? Okay, I'm going to test this to see how relevant this is. Starting at 0, working it all the way up. And that tested, I got a stick. I'll slow it down a little bit. Stuck at 100. So this is something that we can all work on. Let's look through the remaining tunings, physical rituals, and clearing statements. Okay, this is something we can include in our journal. All right, let's go down the list and test it out. Harmonize receiving pathways in all dimensions. Okay, and we'll test that on a scale of 0 to 100. How appropriate is this for the majority of YouTube viewers? And that sticks at 100 as well. Okay, and let's check out clear all ancestral vows of poverty. And that one for today does not show up. However, it is something that we can work on. Okay, so we're going to add those to our tuning list. We have a fairly short list here today. And so let's dive into this a little bit here. I'm going to expand these out so you can read them. So, what is our vision of wealth? Is the vision that you see for your life? We all want to be wealthy, healthy, and abundant. But is your wealth vision rooted in a place of service and joy to the collective, to the whole, even to your family, to someone outside of yourself? If you work in an industry where you interact with people like most of us do, try to re-envision your relationship to those people. See how you can serve. See how you can bring a little more joy, a little more abundance, a little more presence into your interactions and relationships with other people. In turn, this will reinform your big why, your vision for your life. We all have desired outcomes. We have amounts of money or qualities of life that we would like to live. And your vision of wealth is essentially a list of those qualities. So if you don't have a wealth vision, you should write that down in your journal. We're already on this journaling topic. Write down vision of wealth. Is your wealth vision rooted in service and joy? Or is my wealth vision rooted in service and joy? If the answer is yes, that's phenomenal. Keep amplifying those qualities in yourself. If the answer is no, journal 1, 2, 3, 4, just a few ways that you can bring more service and joy into your work, no matter what it is that you're doing. That is the one that needs the most help right now. Alignment with purpose is a secondary thing that we want to work on. So if you are one of the 60% of people watching YouTube that feel that the way you earn money does not align with who you are uniquely as a soul, as an individual, look at that. Journal on it. Meditate on it. Ask yourself, if I was not afraid of not having enough money, if I was not afraid of not being enough, what ways would I choose to earn money? We all have to earn money in this world. It can be difficult. It can be easy. The qualities that we have learned in our childhood about money affect us greatly. And often that leads us to making decisions that aren't in alignment with our highest soul purpose, soul mission, so on and so forth. So I encourage you to look at the ways you're earning and see how that influences your mindset and perhaps even your ability to show up with service and joy like we just indicated earlier. Action steps. Journaling. At the top of a piece of paper, you want to write, what am I afraid money will do to me? Often, when we're not bringing joy into our work, when we're not bringing our soul mission, our soul purpose into our work, we're afraid of money. We're afraid of either not being enough, not having enough, something like that. What is that for you? What am I afraid money will do to me? Am I going to be penniless on the street? Am I going to be a slave to a system that I don't agree with? Get to the root of those fears and ask yourself, is this really true? Is this really true? And if it is, well, then you've got a lot to work on. If it isn't, then you've got a lot to work on. We have the ability to re-author these stories of fear, just like you were afraid when you were a kid, maybe of riding your bicycle. And you got on the bicycle, you maybe crashed a few times, just like you've had negative experiences with money in the past. You've crashed your bike, but for those of you who stuck with it and learned, you got over your fear, you got back on the bike, and you re-authored that fear belief. And now, even as an adult, you haven't ridden a bike in years, you'll be able to ride it because you conquered that fear. So I encourage you to conquer that fear. And then an affirmation that you can also write on your journal page is harmonize receiving pathways in all dimensions. I'll say that one more time so that the sound vibration is felt in your being. Harmonize receiving pathways in all dimensions. That means that we are open to receiving. That means that we are open to allowing abundance and money to flow into our lives. And not that the channels are so wide open that we take anything without discrimination, but that we harmonize those pathways, that they're open enough such that we can receive what is meant for us and meant for our unique individual soul mission and turn away that which is not aligned. So I look forward to hearing what you have to say in the comments. Do this exercise, see if it helps. Maybe this video has given you a little bit of a reminder. If you would like to work more with me one-on-one, feel free to reach out to me and we can talk about IDF analysis that's much more specific to you and not for a billion people. But hopefully this gave you a little bit of a tidbit. What I'm going to do right here as the session winds down is I am going to run a balancing session for all of us here, the YouTube viewers, and I am going to increase our cash flow collectively. So may this blessing come to you. How many seconds? We need 7 seconds of balancing, 5 seconds of delay, and how many cycles to balance? We're doing an 8-minute balancing. Here we are. We're sending the informational broadcast right now out to all viewers of YouTube. We're rebalancing our vision of wealth. We are rebalancing our alignment with purpose. We are rebalancing our ability to journal and to be clear and honest in our writing. Here it comes. What am I afraid money will do to me? The channel is now open for you to journal that, to write it down on a piece of paper. And finally, the affirmation. Harmonize receiving pathways in all dimensions. Write it, speak it, love it. We're going to let this balance finish for the next 7 minutes and 15 seconds. And hopefully this opens the gate for you to experience immense abundance and cash flow in your life. All right, we'll see you next time. Thank you.